I'm here. I'm almost here. Hello, hello. Hi, almost here. We're chat. We're cupcakes. And I'm here. Hi. Bam. Right to the face. Rolling pin right to the snosh. Right to the snosh. Let me get these ears off me. Hi. Hi. How are you doing? It's summertime. It's warm. And I'm here. Hello, native engine. Hello. 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 I'm sorry, my throat is being weird. Oh my gosh. All righty. All right. No. All lefty. Yeah. Also, I am how am I doing today? I don't know. I am I woke up at a decent time, then I went back to sleep, then I woke up, then I went back to sleep, then I woke up, and then it was a bit late. But then I did exercises. Actually, no, then I did my Japanese learning, then I did exercises, and then I did Japanese learning while doing exercises. Then I had a wash, and I decided today I'm going to stop eating meals before the stream. One, it's only going to make my tummy all upset spaghetti, because I've been having a lot of streams, I've been in a lot of pain. It's like, yeah, it's just, because it's like, eat food, you're ill. So then I'm like, I just, and also then it's like, I lose like 2 hours of my day just eating food and preparing food, like before the stream. So I'm like, if I don't do that, then I just have my meal after the stream instead. So much time saved. Yeah, and then I can just like focus on post-stream stuff, being, you know, preparing to eat, go to bed and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm trying to like reorganize myself. Also, I got to bed at like a really decent time yesterday because I was just exhausted, which meant I didn't get any of the painting done off stream that I wanted to. But I was just exhausted. I'm like, I'm just gonna settle down. I'm gonna have some food. I'm gonna do some Japanese learning, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna put on my Japanese learn while you sleep thing, which I don't think is working for me at all. Except then I'm like trying to get to sleep, but suddenly there's just yelling and shouting and screaming, and it's like, what? It's because football just like, oh, there must have been like, I feel like every single person yesterday on the street must have been, actually, I know there were 2 watch parties going on the street. My parents were at one of them, you know, for the football. It's like, oh, hi, night parade. So yeah, I'm doing a bit weird. Well, that being said, I think I did manage to get to sleep and just, like, that was how exhausted I was. I just, like, the early cheering and stuff was going on. But that was only a few minutes into the game. And then, like, I wasn't awake from when my parents came home. I was just like, sleep. Ew, I got a Seth Rogen ad on my channel. What? Who's Seth Rogen? And I know of a Joe Rogan. Who's Seth Rogen? I'm gonna have to look up Seth Rogen. Seth. Is he an insane person? He doesn't even have his image. Canadian comedy. Oh, okay. What's he done? What's he done? I have no idea who this person is. Seth Rogen. He's been in a bunch of things I've never heard of before. I was an executive producer for Invincible. Mutant Ninja Turtles, something. Executive producer for the Atom Eve movie. Bunch of other stuff I've never heard of before. Lots of stuff I've never heard of before. I am assuming a small-time producer and actor. Yeah. Because I have no idea what any of these other... Wait, he was on For Boys. Executive producer for Boys TV series. There's a bunch of stuff. The only things I recognise here are things I don't actually like. Which is weird, because you'd think I would like For Boys or Invincible. I like my heroes. I like my superhero stuff. And I like, you know, where they go a bit... You know, where you try applying realism to heroes. I kind of like that. Although for Invincible and for Boys especially, conceptually, I kind of like the ideas. But in practice, especially with the way that they are, I don't like them. I don't like them. It's like, all I can think is when I see them, it's like, I would have done this so much differently. Well, not just that. I'm not a big fan of gore and stuff. Especially do where it's just like shock value, or you don't need it, you just did it anyway. And the way it kind of feels pointless. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. Invincible is a bit better. That's why I don't mind Invincible as much, because it's not as bad as like For Boys, but just random people exploding. Oh, I meant to get a cola before the stream, but I forgot. I'll just have some water then. Oh, but I got some models to paint. Wait, what was the Seth Rogen ad for? What was Seth Rogen doing on an advert? But I'll show you what I've been working on off stream and on stream a little. Where are we? Hand cam. Smash! Yeah! It's like, you have to get a new screen every time I switched. Yeah, so this is what we're doing last stream. You know, working on this thing. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to put some stuff there. I forgot about that bit. So yeah, we'll take that off, put some stuff down on that side. We'll do that first. So it has time to dry later. We're doing these guys. I'm not going to do the symbols on their chests and stuff. I'm going to leave that to last. Because otherwise I just risk ruining it. It's white and red. But what I've mostly been doing off stream is I was like, you know what, I'll do lots of corrections on this model. You know, painting the bits that are meant to be gold, the bits that are meant to be blue, the bits that are meant to be red, and so on. And I did it. It took me for blooming ever. There's still some mistakes here, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just leaving them. I'm leaving them. Maybe when we're doing the shading of the highlights and stuff, we can fix them. But for now, actually, the entire wave is saturated. This camera is not very good with colour. I've been looking at other cameras I can possibly have. But, you know, the main thing about this camera is it's really compact and easy to set up. It has its own stand. It plugs in just by the USB. It's really small. It's got its own light installed. It's really, really, really good for everything. The main issue, though, is it does not do colour very well. If I turn down the saturation a little, does that help? That does help a little. The colour's not trying to be as explodey. Although now you're not getting the vibrancy and the blues and stuff. And like bits down here look slightly too washed out. But yeah, I've added some shading of the blue on her. I meant to do... It's pretty cool. Did my internet just die? Apparently no, apparently not. YouTube just said that my stream wasn't connected anymore. Must be a YouTube side issue. Hello, Kundrill. How you doing? Will the blue stay that bright, or will you put oil? I'm not putting oil on these things. This is finished, this model. So yeah, that's very nice. The blue on the Mechanicus models is going to be even brighter. So this is actually really, really fine. It's a bit closer to cyan and a bit more vibrant than what it appears on the camera. I think the only way to make it more vibrant is to up the saturation, but then the camera starts being weird with the colours. Good morning to you, good afternoon from me. But no, what I'm gonna do, I'm trying to go for, oh, I need to fix that up. I'm trying to go for an ocean. Like, do you know, a tropical ocean vibe going on these? So I'm going to be using Lothern Blue on it. Like to go into highlights, which will then hopefully blend. I don't have a sponge, so we'll try our best to blend it into Baharoth Blue, and then the last highlight will be white to make it look like the frothing waves of the ocean. And if I don't like how the shadows look right now, I'll get some other colour to do the darker shadows, but it'll just be a darker blue, maybe a contrast one. So options at the moment are ultramarine blue and what's the other one? Storm Fiend blue. Yeah, I want to keep it like a tropical vibe, so that's why I like this stuff. We're going to highlight with the Shabty Bone on the bone beachy colour stuff, because I want it to look like a tropical. So the main body will be like the beach, the robes will be like the water. That's the main goal anyway with it all. But yeah, finished painting the squig off stream. I think it's pretty good all in all. I mean, I could do the nails a bit more to make them more like this one, but I decided I didn't like how that looked compared to how this looked. So yeah, I think the squig though, it came out really well. I just did this for practice. The eyes look nice. Everything went really well with that one. I also painted this guy off stream. Well, we painted the gun on stream in our member stream and did some of the body, just trying to get some base yellow on. But for the rest of him, I did off stream. He's still got mistakes and issues on him, but I'm trying not to think too much about them. I'm trying to ignore them, you know? Thank goodness of Britain, I'm learning so much about painting. Yeah, one of the things I've learned, and it's probably been the biggest thing, as if you look at like this guy where you got the highlights on him, it's relatively smooth and nice how the highlights go together. And by comparison, you've got her. The highlights are a little less smooth. I did fix them off stream a little bit. But one of the things I've realised, and not just realised, but I've been using Lamia, not Lamia, Lamia medium, where you can use water, but don't put it directly in the pot, I advise, or just have a separate pot for it. But thinning paints, so people say thinning paints, what they actually mean is thin them down to the sort of same consistency as milk. And I found if they don't have the same coverage, and often if you are putting down your base colours, you don't want to use from super thin down, you want them to be nice and solid. But as soon as it gets to doing highlights, gradients and shades and stuff like that, you want to thin down your paints massively. And if you've already done your priming and your priming's perfectly well done, then often when you are doing your base coats, you will want to thin them down as well. Every miniature painting topic is 100 British people saying what they think. It's true. But yeah, well, it's not just British people. I've actually been learning from a couple of Australians as well. Mostly just by shorts and stuff and by just random Googling how to get stuff, how to make stuff look how I want. But yeah, Lamia contrast, absolutely amazing. You can use water, but I like to just throw Lamia, not Lamia contrast, Lamia medium, sorry. Just throw it straight into a pot and then mix it all up. And I'm like, ah, there we go. Don't never need to thin it again. Or at least I need to do very little thinning in the future. Who are you trying stippling? That's what I kind of did with this up here. I used a bit of stippling to try and get the gradient. The way I wanted it. I like how it looks around the spine though. It's not proper stippling, mind you. Just and wait for something to dry to see if it works. Ooh. I don't really use stippling that much. It's very good for like doing flesh colours, but very rarely ever have anything that's, you know, very fleshy. I want to do for often very leathery, so I did the curved edge on one side of a viper. Ooh, I love vipers. I don't have a viper. I have a, are they called starfangs? Do you know the Corsair version of a viper, where it's got the disintegrator cannon? Yeah, I've lost the canopy for it. It's so sad. Do you know the little thing that goes over for pilots and for gunners? I lost one of them and it had the little symbols on. No idea. It just like pinged off when I was using it, but I've not been able to find it ever since. Okay, but what am I going to do? I think... Oh yeah, we need to do this gun. We need skeleton hard. Where's skeleton hard? Do I have skeleton hard out? No, I might as well start putting paints away if I don't need today. So I shouldn't need any of these paints. Let's put them away. Do we need yellows? Nope. I can put them away too. Don't need the greens. Do skeleton hard. There we go. So skeleton hard is how I'm doing my gradients. If you get a viper, there'll be an extra box or starfang. Yeah, I built mine as a starfang instead of as a viper. Because I have a Corsair army, yeah! Why is it my Corsair army? It's got a ranger squad in it. It's got some howling banshees. Not a big fan of howling banshees. Let's go for a minute. Oh, I forgot to blooming wash my brushes with hot water and vinegar. That's fine. I'm doing detail work today. Okay, how is this looking? Knees have to shake. I've been listening to a load of Japanese music. There we go. I can hear my own background music again. Trying to learn Japanese again. So there we go. I need this just so we can go onto this corner and darken it up a little. Yeah, add the shade to it. Because if anything's meant to be in the shade, it's meant to be this area. There we go. Still trying to pick an army. Ad-Mech look good, but I'm just starting. Yeah, Ad-Mech are hell to paint. They're definitely an army that, at least of the models I have at the moment, and I've tried painting. Outside of the Dune Crawler is great to paint. Although I did decide to throw contrast at it first, which I shouldn't have done, which makes it look all messy. I'm thinking maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay that it looks a bit messy. I should have just gone with Techless, but I didn't have Techless blue back then. I only had my contrast colour for the blue I wanted. And then after realising that it was a mistake, I found the correct blue in base colours. Okay, where is my thing for drying my brush? I think I threw it away. Okay, I'm gonna need more tissue paper. There we go. What did you use for bronze looking bits? Oh, on these. It's Retribute to Armor, I believe, with Reichland Flesh shade over it. We're gonna go back over with some probably Fulbright to give the highlights to it, and then maybe a bit of silver, Stormhost silver. It's just Retribute armor with, so this is how it looks when you just put it on without turning off a wash. This is a converted model, if you can't tell. It's just 2 layer gold with a great big sword, a searchlight. That's taken from this symbol is from an Imperial Knight. Sword is from a Custodian Dreadnought. Volkite weapon, the tubing around its green stuff. Replaced all of the tentacles with Defiler, Electro Scourge bits, and I think some Hellbrute parts and other things as well. Oh yeah. And that's on my first bid for head. You ever dry brush for shading? Yes, although I don't dry brush for shading. What I do is I brush on the dark colour. So I will do my base colour as the actual colour I want the shade to be. And then I'll dry brush the actual colour I want the base colour to be on top of it. But I'll do it like a heavy dry brush so that it does reach more areas. And it's more smoothly goes over the model. And then I'll do another dry brush of a lighter shade that I want my highlights to be. And that gives you a relatively simple model. It doesn't work well for flat surfaces like this, mind you. But when it comes to things like this, it's perfect. But yeah, dry brushing for shading isn't necessarily great. The only time that you dry brush for shading is if you're doing a lighting on your model. So for instance, if you want like a light here and them to be in shade at the back, then you can dry brush the shadow onto them. But usually when people do shading, it's like going into the recesses and making the recesses darker and stuff. So dry brushing is useless of that, because the entire point of dry brushing is that you're not painting for recesses, you're painting everything else except the recesses. Okay, where's my Laferne blue? Here it is. This is the colour we want on. Okay, I might actually get some Lamia contrast. I'm here. Lamia medium. Lamia medium. Lamia medium. Go into the paper. Cause I want it all. Okay, that's good. That's a bit too much, maybe, but whatever. Lamia medium. Lamia medium. Give it a good old shake now. And now, Lamia medium's also really good for reviving paints that are dying because they dried out a bit. Now I should have a nice... Oh, that's good. That's good. So what I want to do is just go over the blue areas with this now. Might be a bit much. I'm experimenting. This model is very much my experimentation of trying to do what I want to do. So it's probably going to be a bit making mistakes. But you have to start somewhere when it comes to trying to figure out ideas. Might as well start here. So if I make the edges kind of rough, that will look maybe a bit like wave. There we go. Then I can use some Adeptus glue to fix it when I need to fix it. I'll just experiment with this now. We can make the top oh so wavy. I might ruin the entire model, but I'm unsure. There we go. That's not looking too bad, actually. I think there's definitely a bit of areas that need correcting here. Hi, KNK Motto, how you doing? How are the post-free servitors? Post-free servitors. These aren't fair start me. They are like the furthest away you can get from us, actually, they're not. But they, the Skitari aren't, servitors. In many ways, it's best to view them as just like one post below Ad-Mech. Like a tech piece. But generally, not all of them. It depends on the tech piece who's in charge of them. But often they do keep like their entire individuality. Although like tech piece, they might have some of their emotions, you know, changed up or fixed or repressed or, you know, kept in data banks. You're making some scrambled eggs. Nice. Finished your house stalker last night. Ooh. And hello, K-Trap. Honestly, probably just finding the right blue highlights can fix it properly. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be working up in colour. So then we're going to go to Baharoth blue, which is brighter. And then to white. To try and like create the effect of crashing waves. Okay, that's much nicer. So I don't want to just go straight down with the brush. I want to go rough and like this. So yeah, we're experimenting, we're learning. Oh, that's better. That's better. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, I need to. Unfortunately, hay fever's still a book. So if it's suddenly mute, it's just me having to blow my nose because hay fever is punching me in the gut. Seriously, quite literally as well. Maybe a wash too. I don't think I want to do a wash and foam. If I do, it'll just be specifically in certain areas. It's so bad this year. It is so bad this year. Like for me, it's bad every year, but for a couple of years it was kind of better. Kind of, I say, because it was still not great. And it's not set off my asthma this year. I've only had to use my inhaler like twice, which is good. But both times was when I was having to go outside to walk the cat. So I was getting more just full blown pollen in my face a lot more back then. I'm in Norcolor normally in June. It had to be done. Haven't gone a week without missing this year. Oof. Hi, Rainbow Dash. Oh, you have asthma too. Yeah, I do. Thankfully, for years, my asthma hasn't affected me, except when I got COVID. And my hay fever sometimes sets it off. But that's about it. Last year, my hay fever was bad enough that literally I just kept going on. And then I went to the doctor and saying my sinuses still haven't cleared up from when I had hay fever. And they just gave me a nasal spray. that was kind of meh. Eventually, my sinuses did clear up for like a week before hay fever came back. Or maybe not a week, a short amount of time. Oh god. My mother caught a cold. I'm not sure if I caught it at all at any point. Because I don't know if I'd recognise it as separate from a hay fever at this point. Okay, then we're going for an experiment with getting the Baharoff blue. Is the Baharoff blue here? Nope. Go into the next box then. Baharoff blue. We're gonna have to get these really tall ink pots out of here. Baharoff blue, really, really bright, really, really vibrant. So it might not actually be good over Lothern blue because Lothern blue is not as vibrant. No, that's really, really thick and goopy. So let's put some medium in it. There we go, that medium bottle is empty now. Get another medium bottle into it. There we go. Give it a good shake, and that's a little bit better. Yeah. So I'm wondering if Baharoff blue will be a bit too bright over Lothern. No, I think it's fine actually. It is bright though, which is good. Because Lothern's a bit more washed out. I'm trying to go for like a watery effect. I don't want it to look like water, but I'm trying to go for, you know, something. Maybe it would be better to go with Baharoff and then Lothern. No, Baharoff's too light. Lothern doesn't have as much colour to it, but it's also darker, more greyish. Try this anyway. See how it goes. How's that coming along? Maybe I should be going over here too. Maybe I should be adding like 3 into here as well. Yeah, it's looking not too bad actually, I guess. Having some white to add like a frosting effect might actually be good here. Oh my gosh, this, I didn't even realise I picked up for one that I've been experimenting on every single time. Like, that's why I've got the symbol painted there, because that's one of the first things I painted when I was just testing out the scheme. This guy's just destined to be tested on. This is the brightest cyany colour I've got. So if this doesn't, I don't have like another colour to do after this one, I'm gonna have to go into white. I could always mix colours. That's one thing. But I don't like mixing colours. I used to do that when I was painting a lot when I was younger. When I was a kiddie kid. Actually, I think it was more when I was a teenager. And I was getting good at painting. Yeah. Okay, that bit there might need. I can always go back with some Texas blue to fix it up. There we go. I got it is a bit weird. Okay, what colour would I want with white? Corvex white scar? Let's try white scar. I'm fond of my white scar. My cat needs a good old shape. So how's everyone else doing for? Anyone got any painting for doing at the moment? Oh, there we go. That's nice. Honestly, maybe reducing the thickness of the highlights is all you need. True. True. But I mean, that's where I can just go over with some Tetris again to bring back some of the other colours. And now we go with the white. Try going for like the rolling weight. What was that question? Anyone paint? How's everyone? Anyone painting anything at the moment? Or making anything? Warhammer or otherwise? Painting a house? Once I'm done eating, I'll be on my chaos bikers. Ooh, mutant. Hello, so doing. No, don't cupcat me. You're so mean. I got a laundry list of chaos space beans that need painting. Me too. Got like 4K points. And all I'm doing is building them up to 6K now. Not 6K, 8K. Instead of painting them. What I've already got. There we go. Making my chapter master for your homebrew chapter for Ardent Angels. Ooh, Dark Angel successors. Ooh, how's their relationship with the Dark Angels? Are they one of those chapters that the other Dark Angels still call upon, as if they were still a legion? Or are they ones that are a bit more distant from their home chapter? I was watching a tutorial yesterday, very useful, but they weren't. So I'm going to give myself a 60-minute time limit. That's about reasonable for a character. I was starkly reminded of who I was watching. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have never been able to paint a miniature that quick. I mean, maybe when I was little. Oh gosh, that messed up massively. Like, I mean, I can paint. Well, it depends. Like, if you're painting a space marine and you're leaving them relatively undetailed, it's relatively quick. But this model took me. I mean, I guess we were talking a lot at the same time, but we completed it on stream. Although I did do a little bit more fixing that face off stream, but it took me like 3 hours. Well, that includes being like, you know, streaming, talking, looking at the Warhammer website. I don't think I could have done it within an hour. It's a relatively simple colour scheme, only 3 major colours on it. This one though, I must have spent 3 hours just like experimenting with a gun and painting it. And then doing like the rest of just a bit of the other base colours here. It was on a member stream. I was speaking a bit, quite a lot as well. I'm slow because I'm bad and I force myself to be careful staying. I'm improving though. I'm improving. Sometimes. Okay, how's that looking? Yeah, I might need to get the other colour. That's starting to look a lot more like the rolling water and stuff, isn't it? That's the effect I'm going for. Water. Overall, I've created is that the Imperium Nihilus and encountered the lion and basically told the error of their ways by the lion. They stopped the hunt for the fallen. But they are paranoid of other Dark Angels and their successors because they are aware the lion has returned and they've stopped hunting the fallen, which could look suspect to others. Oh, that sounds very fun actually. Yeah, that's not looking too bad, I think. They're looking quite tropical ocean. It's looking ocean at the very least. I don't have enough cyan shades and colours to work with for a tropical ocean, I feel like. That's difficult to get here. Oh, it's a small lore tidbit. Basically, the chapter master of my homebrew runs into Osmodai as Osmodai is torching a fallen. The chapter master basically says Osmodai is going too far. Oh no. That doesn't sound like it would be good. Scars for chapter masters a warning. Ooh. I don't think my homebrew chapter has any what's it called, interactions with named characters. Like the official named characters. That sounds very cool. Is this going well? I don't know. Okay, need to mute again. Oh, for reason I'm doing, some of you would already know this, but for reason I'm doing like a water theme on my tech priests, my Adeptus Mechanicus, is that I decided my Ad-Mech, my fabricator general, if you want to call them, of my the head tech priest, that's the word, of my explorator fleet. She was originally from my Forge world, that is also an ocean world. And she loves the ocean of her home planet. And as Russell puts it into her, well, everything she makes, she likes you going for the nice blues of her ocean. In the weapons she produces, in the Skitarii that she leads. So all of everything was like, all the forges were fueled by the crashing and rolling waves into hydro power. Now for root of it just being a random encounter of a lion. I mean, I feel like the lion would want to teach his sons to be better. True. The lion has been doing that. Actually, wait a minute. No, I do remember. I do have one character in my Adeptus Mechanicus. Serena, this crazy, I just knocked over my magnifying glass. This crazy woman. Yeah, she knows Belisarius' call and is within, you know, the groups of tech priests that he entrusts with information and data. And to aid him in stuff where he either does not have the time to do something himself or does not have the expertise. He is specifically a chronomancer. Is her expertise. She's also a bit of a biologist, and a bit like many tech priests, she dabbles in a variety of different skills. Mostly biologists and archaeology. She loved archaeology. That's where she grew up. Most of the stuff she did. And she's a bit of a data hoarder, like even more than the average tech priest. And a bit of a thief when it comes to, you know, information and data. Don't leave her around a computer. She's going to make a copy of everything. You cogitators. She's going to go into your browsing history and she's going to copy and paste it onto her own drive. But mostly just the things that you make and create. She's going to copy and paste anything you found. There we go. How's that looking? That's looking okay-ish. I think we're starting to get a bit of that crashing wave effect. Oh yeah, so her home planet is like an ocean world with loads of, not hydro dams, but they're hydro power stations, so all of the crashing waves and water produces electricity that's used to fuel for forges and stuff. And all the pollutants, like all of them, like from like the molten slag and burning things, goes up into the ocean where it's eaten by microorganisms that then are eaten by other fish and stuff. So somehow a forge road has managed to be, you know, work with its environment rather than destroying it. Oh, quite accidentally. That looks a bit like, you know, water and crashing waves. Right? Right, you have to say yeah. If you say no, my feelings will be hurt. If you don't say anything, my feelings will be doubly hurt. Lies. Lies to make you feel. I'm joking with you. You can say the truth. Maybe we're a bit overzealous with it, but I can go back. I can add some depth and darkness to it again. Turn the light off, how will it look? Will that be a bit better with a little less reflection on it? That looks a bit better on the camera. It's not quite how I imagined it, but it's not as bad as I feared it might go. Okay, my elbows are hurting. I need to get like elbow cushions or something when I'm doing these painting streams. Okay, is this techless? It is techless blue. What's this? Maybe it would be better to use some of the Alisar blue. Which is darker, but it is a contrast. There we go. Maybe. Oh no, I just made that worse. Okay. For Shabty Bone, we can do the highlights on the main body of armor, I guess. That's a bit goofy. Let's contrast medium, Lamia medium. Hi, yes, Dado, how you doing? You managed to get to a stream when we're streaming Mechanicus? What do you think of the rolling ocean effect by doing on these robes? magic sauce goes drip, drip, drip. It does. It does. There we go. I think I already put some into there anyway. Hi, Officer Buckford Russell. How you doing? Doing some highlighting. Oh, we're doing experimental highlighting. We're trying to make this look like rolling ocean. Trying to make this look a bit like a beach. You're working on ocean minis too. Ooh, nice. Oh, your photon. Photon are very nice. A photon are not warm and fiend for fire and lightning. I thought so. What water minis are you working on then? Another hunt for an elusive yellow. Ooh, wait, which yellow are you looking for? And what for? Because I forgot. I'm afraid forgetful cupcakes. But cupcakes are not blessed with great memories. Hello, Foxy. I called a kindred off the abyss. I sent some pictures. I am interested. Yellow ain't real, it can't hurt me. Yellow is real. Yellow is real. Yellow. Look how tiny the kin are, my goodness. How are you doing today? I'm doing okay-ish. How are you
doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well, everyone who's coming. Those who don't know me, I'm a cupcake conjurer in name and profession, and a conjure cupcake and a pink Warhammer, and a build Warhammer. And these are Hastari, or Hastarte. One that is easy to speed up my painting of wonders and marines, or not looking streaky or blotchy. My favourite one is like that we did these things with. Is like it looks a bit streaky here, but that's because I've literally done a bunch to it to purposely give it a bit, try giving it a bit more leathery effect and stuff. Is Avalanche Sunset? Yes, it is a bit more orangey, but it's a very nice base colour. And you can just like take your other yellows and go over it if you want to. This one, Avalanche Sunset. Add some medium to it if you want to. But yeah, it's very nice. It's a bit orangey, but you can easily just go over with some ethereal yellow if you want to. And because it's going straight onto a yellow colour, or do something that's close to yellow already, it will look nicer than trying to just paint it straight over a base colour. It's a bit like how you'll use Dawnstone. Administratum Grey is often the first colour you'll paint before painting Wraithbone or White, because just getting that initial grey down is much nicer to paint on top of than your other colours. And if it is a bit streaky, you don't notice as easily. But yeah, Photon on Steam. Yeah, Avalanche Sunset is the colour I predominantly use when I'm doing yellow nowadays. Like even when I want to do a bright bad moon yellow, I'll just do Avalon Sunset first and put my bad moon yellow over. Actually, I'll go Avalon Sunset, Uriel, and then bad moon. It's been amazing for Dino doing that. You've also got like, people also like to paint brown or pink down before they do the yellow. And that can help. Not really how I do it, but I can't really comment too much. Yeah, if Avalon Sunset, painting yellow is no harder than painting any other colour in my experience. It's, I say that, it's still a bit harder, but not so much that it's difficult. They're currently printing a vehicle. Ooh. My friend's got a 3D printer. I wonder if there's anything I could... The only thing I'd ever like want to ask him to 3D print is something like, you know, Rhino or something. Not a resin 3D printer. Or maybe a Titan. There we go. So I'm trying to just lighten up the armor. It's less highlighting and more just trying to lighten up the armor than anything else. It doesn't look... I want it to keep that oily effect to some extent. I don't care too much. If I did how I did for oily effect, I literally just painted to a shabby bone and then put a skeleton hard over the top of it. And now I'm putting a shabby bone back on top of it. That's the thing. I started off just loading up a dry brush and base coat the entire model in Avalon Sunset. And why it was a bit untidy in place and a hole, it worked. When I had to fix up mistakes like black trim and everything, it was a pain. Oh. I wouldn't dry, unless your model is going to be... If your model is mostly yellow, what I would recommend is doing sandy dust. Paint over bits that are meant to be yellow, like Avalon Sunset, and then go over for areas you want black, and other colours. And then if you make any mistakes, get Avalon Sunset back on top of it. But I mean, mistakes are always going to be a pain when you're working with yellow. For numerous reasons. Maybe I should do some Ushabti Bone for highlighting as well, actually. Not Ushabti Bone, Wraith Bone. Okay, I need to turn back go on my air conditioner because it's getting too warm and my computer's overheating a little. There we go. Let's see how this Wraith Bone looks. Just for like light highlight. Maybe Pallid Witch Flesh will be better actually, or Raycar. It's hard to give I don't know what you're actually trying to paint, so trying to add thighs on it will be a bit difficult. It was a paint. It was a paint, it was a paint. Hilarious. There we go, yeah. Maybe it's a bit too bright of a highlight on it. Yeah, it's too bright of a highlight. I need to find something in between of Shabty Bone and Wraith Bone. Lighter than a Shabty, darker than a Wraith Bone. Rakeoff? Ooh, Rakeoff could work. I can't find my Rakeoff, but it could work. What's this? Ooh, Flayed One Flesh. That could work. You know? Let's try Flayed One Flesh. It's darker slightly than that, but significantly brighter than that. I found out doing details like first and then doing a contrast was good and easy. Well, contrast over such a big flat armor pieces. Oh yeah, that's what we learnt with this. Contrast over flat armor like this is just bad. There you go, got some Flayed One Flesh here. How will this look? Ah, it's much nicer. Yeah. It's lighter, but not so much lighter that I can't work with it. Who knew I'd be using Flayed One Flesh to paint armor? I'm not caring about doing edge highlighting so much on this, just adding some light to it. Like where I feel like light might naturally fall upon it. Also, just where it like might be a bit damaged or a bit sun bleached or whatever, I think. I'm gonna give them that sort of still. I keep it like a bit industrially vibed, you know. This is looking not too shabby. Sorry, my hair is blowing in the air-conditioned wind, and it keeps going in front of my face. I don't know what I'm gonna have for tea today. I've got some more cocktail sausages that were in the freezer. I was like, oh, they seem good to have in this weather, so I don't have to bother cooking up any sausages. Might have an omelette and just throw them in it. Yeah, that sounds good actually. Sausage and egg is delicious. Like, how the heck? I never knew how delicious sausage and egg were together. Like, why don't they do more sausage and egg things? And by they, I mean, I actually don't know who I mean. The big wigs at corporate. There we go. Yo, Manoj. Manoj. I am not doing well with my blooming hay fever today. And like 2 hours this morning just trying to breathe. Look how hot it's been, I think. Plants are loving it. Except when they're dying of dehydration. So there we go. That's mostly it done. Let's get onto the metal, I guess. Okay, so I want full bright copper, I think, for it's going through. So there's just loads of holes in these gloves because if I'm meant to be, I'm painting. I don't want to mess up these sleeve gloves. Well, these sleeve gloves, I don't worry. I don't want to mess up my good ones. Full bright copper. Are you full bright copper? You are full bright copper. How is my full bright copper? Do you think it needs thinning down a bit? I think it needs rejuvenating. Rejuvenate it with a magic Lamia medium. Oh. I think I need to get more full bright copper. Well, I've changed the recipes of how they do for metallic paints, which is why modern metallic paints don't have these white lids. They got the clear ones, apparently. I don't know if I'll still love it as much. Like I need to shake it better. Shaking, shaking, shaking some paint. Do 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 do. I'm leaning all the way back so I can shake the paint without whacking things. Okay, is this gonna work? I've shook all of the blood into my hand. So my hand is so swollen. But did I shake the paint up well enough? She's shot. She's shot. I'm shot. Now he's going through the holes in the glove. Stop it. Do you like the ocean effect I tried making on the robes here? How you doing, Talam? Welcome to the stream. Funny story. My roommate had some friends over this weekend and they came back and took a look at my painted minis and wouldn't you know it, for one model they zeroed in to praise was my half-done test model. Oh no. That's never a fun one. Did you get the confidence to ask what they thought of the other models? Look like any water and brilliant. In Britain, brilliant. So I read Britain as brilliant then because obviously that's what Britain is. I was trying to go for tropical water to be honest, but I don't have enough cyan with that, I think. Okay. So we're doing well actually. Yeah, this isn't looking too bad with full bright copper. Bringing it back out of a bronze a little bit. Might be better just to go over some gold actually. I'm trying to rejuvenate the colour of the metal. From bronze to gold again. Yeah. Yeah, full bright copper might not be the best to go for here. Well, at least we decided to take an interest and praise your models rather than making fun of something or just completely ignoring you. That's good. I did. Unfortunately, it was one of those things I wanted some criticism, so I had to go on to work on, but they were nothing but praise. Oh. Well, that just shows you you're amazing. You do great painting. If you want criticism or something, though, go on to the Discord. Everyone loves to criticize everyone's model on my... I'm joking. We generally mostly do praise. But if you do ask for criticism, people will be able to say what, you know, where you might be able to improve or whatever. Also, then I'll get to look at it. Dylan, do the Discord command. Wait, is Dylan still here? Discord, yeah, thank you. Yeah, join the Discord. We got a Warhammer channel where we show off minis and discuss the current, you know, stuff going on in Warhammer. It's nice. I guess brought back some of the gold field to it. And that's nice. You keep forgetting there's a delay between us. Never. Never. I just expect you to work better. Like, I expect you to make up for the delay, Talan. Like, preempt what I'm going to ask. Otherwise, how are you going to make it up in the Discord world? Kundra claps her hands and demands me into a room in a maid outfit and act like Batman's butler Alfred. Talan, I don't expect you to act like Alfred. Alfred is too cool. Alfred is too amazing. Even I know that's too much. That's like an expectation that you can never live up to. Never! You have to keep the maid outfit on in your profile. Look. Mariana made that outfit for you. She made that cool design. Are you saying you don't like Mariana's amazing art, Talan? That she worked tirelessly on day and night to make you an amazing model. Are you impressed that I remembered Mariana's name? I'm impressed. Especially with all the Japanese I'm learning, I thought I'd like knocked everyone's names out of my head. It's an amazing design. Yes, very impressed. Nice. There we go. Ooh. How many pets you got? I got two. Two kitty cats. They're very, very pretty. And very, very annoying. As they both like to pee everywhere. And one of them keeps bringing in shrews. Or pairs keep letting them out by themselves. I'm like, why? Please stop. No. I assume you recently read her name somewhere and took any opportunity to say her name. I did not. But she doesn't post on Blue Sky often at all. I don't know when she last streamed. There we go. You reinstalled Discord. My goodness, I don't have Discord installed. I just use it in my browser. She is a ghost. She is a ghost. I thought she was a bat VTuber, not a ghost. There we go. Do do no 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 do 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 do. No 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 no. There you go. Hope you're out there. Oh, I've been flashbanged by rules. These would affect me if I could read. Oh yeah, Have you made use of YouTube's guideline stuff finally? Hi, Anthony. Sorry, I'm like blowing my nose. We finally started painting for Rolling Ocean on the robes of my Skitari. I'm trying to do highlights of this model. I think the only time I installed Discord is... Oh, hi, Briar! I was about to mention Briar. Like, when I've done collabs with Briar and stuff, I have to install Discord so it will work with the Discord reactives. Remoraid! Hi, Go Mudbugs! Hi! Everyone else. Hello, Briar! How you all doing? I'm Cupcake Conjurer in name and profession. First name, Cupcake. Second name, Conjurer. Yeah! I like Conjure Cupcakes. And we're also painted. Do you like the rolling ocean effect of being trying to paint under the robe? I'm hoping it looks like. If I turn the light off, it works a bit better. There's just less reflection on the white. Hi, Mal. How are you doing? How was the stream? The full name, Cupcake Conjurer. Yeah! I've got in my name. Oh, thanks, side packs. I hope you had a really good streams. How goes the painting of Third World Fleet Epipalagus? Epipalagus? Not called Epipalagus. They called, I actually don't know what the fleet's called. For her fleet. For her fleet. Savannah, she needs a lot more work done. I'm sorry. We got painting. We need to do some pink cover over here. Yeah, I'm... Good night, Malamal. Thank you, the stream was okay. I was struggling trying to drive away from a big mod. A big mod! I want a big unalive truck. Oh my gosh. I hope you got away. I hope you're not deaded right now. Are you deaded, Briar? Did you survive? Sadly, yes. It got me. Raid bot. Hi, Paladin Stem. How you doing? Your raid bot. Your raid bot. I hope this becomes scrambled. She became a scrambled egg. Briar got scrambled by a truck. Do do no 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 do 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 do. I want pink cover for the highlights. Pink cover, where are you? Is this pink cover? It is. Good. Oh gosh, I've got some blue horrors now. I don't have pink horrors. Oh my gosh, whatever paint my blue horrors pink. Oh gosh, that was way too much paint. No, no! I just got it onto fair. No! Oh, I messed that up massively. That wasn't fun. You can see there's a little bit of pink there from when my finger brushed against it. I'll be able to use them. I'll have to bring that back with the hell off blue. No. There we go. She got road. She got road rage. Oh, Raya got road rage. No. Did Raya develop any road rage of her own to fight it? Because that's the only way to beat road rage. You have to get your own road rage, or so I've heard. That's what Cuptle tells me. And I trust Cuptle implicitly. Truck was 10 times bigger than mine. That just means you need 10 times as much road rage, Raya. You just go, wah! Just turn up, you drive around really quickly, handbrake turn, so you're 180 degrees, spin, fall on the accelerator, go into top gear. Well, actually, don't go into top gear, stay in the low gear, and then go up to the top and go, just right at it. Have a last minute swerve to one side. So when it's like trying to swerve towards you, it twists around, crashes, and goes rolling over. And you're like,
It's not the size of the truck in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the truck.
It's true, it's true. Hi, Nano Fate. I found what you do once it's crashed, you get out of your car. You get into a combine harvester. No, first you drag the person out of their truck. Then you get into a combine harvester. And then you go and harvest their lungs. Right out of their body. That's how you do it, Raya. That does mean you always have to be dragging around a combine harvester with you wherever you go, but it's worth it. It's worth it. That's why you plan ahead. Least violent VTuber, but it's true. It's true. Drinking lots of water. Drinking lots of water. Are you all staying hydrated? Or taking care of yourselves? Okay, now I need like a bright greeny colour. I'll do something to go there. Oh, Tesseract glow. Let's give this a good old shake. Okay, leaning back, shaking the paint pot very violently. And, oh my gosh, it's still not done. Even more shaking. Like the frame rate does not keep up with how much I'm shaking this. Yeah, the frame rate barely keeps up. Okay, so it's going. Random. Hi, Rotovanwa. How you doing? Rotvanwa. If you don't mind, why did you decide to start VTubing? I don't know. People just said, hey, you should be a VTuber. I'm like, okay. And then I made a VTuber model. Not this one. Not this one. I made a VTuber model. Like, I downloaded Live 2D. I was like, oh, I've got this for like a week. So I painted one up in Clip Studio Paint. Rigged it all up in Live 2D. And no, it was a month I had it. Yeah, I think it was literally like less than 24 hours from deciding to actually posting my first video, which was a short, I believe. It might have been more 48 hours. I can't remember. And then like I spent the rest of the month just updating and tweaking the model, and then eventually got models made. Why? Because I'm an impulsive person. Also, I was doing a lot of writing at the time, but I'm one of those people that second guess themselves a lot. And when it comes to writing, there's a very, very long gap between you making something and like anyone seeing it. And then like a very long gap between making somebody seeing it, and then somebody giving you feedback. And the likelihood that someone will even give you feedback is relatively low to begin with, or even fully read something. So, and then often the people who do don't really give a lot of very good feedback, you know? So, I wanted to do something that has more instantaneous feedback. I'd also been doing art and stuff, which has a bit more instantaneous feedback, but also very long production times. So I wanted something where I can just like, you know, make cupcake writing. Yeah, I do writing. I've got a novel I'm trying to write. But once again, I keep getting stuck in my own head. But then it's also just trying to find the time to work on it. I'm slowly getting the paint out of this. You can just about tell. I turn the light off, you might be able to see even better. That's it. Stick her in the old model. You can't put me in the old model. Yeah, and put me in the model that's based on my old model with a go back command, you know? So I got heart in my mouth. There we go. So yeah, just be having that ability to like make a video very quickly, or to just put on a stream and then instantly be working with people. It's a lot nicer than the entire months of writing and then just constantly telling myself it's bad and then never actually putting it out into the world. There we go. I don't see anything wrong with your VTuber. Yeah, my VTuber model's got nothing wrong with it. This was made by Nico and Nico Art. In the description. And oh, what's her name? Vaya, what's her name? Oh, Foggy. That's the one. Foggy. Yeah. Yeah, Foggy Kairu. Yeah, she rigged it. Foggy Kairu. Nico did for art. My original model. Don't me to put the original model up. I just misclicked then. I'll show you the original model that I made. Well, actually, I can show you both of them. So one of these is the model that I used for most. Okay, this was a very, very original one I made and started with. This one, yeah, and it does have commands and stuff. And wait, does it have commands? Okay, none of these commands are working. Oh no, it does have a cry command. And the sweat command. Oh yeah, but it has like commands of the eyes and like different expressions. I forgot I did that because I was struggling to get it to be expressive. Oh, and I couldn't take, yeah, this one doesn't have the hat. Oh no, it does, somewhere. One of these, there we go. No, maybe it doesn't take the hat off this one. But then I quickly updated that before my live 2D, free live 2D ran out. And I made this one, which, you know, it's actually the same model. It's just upgrading it. And this one, the hat does come off. One of these commands takes the hat off. Oh, that's because my numpad broke. Oh.
Roll face on keyboard. I'm sure
There
you
we
can find the
go.
command to remove hat.
Yeah, now we need to find the command to put the hat back on because it wasn't the same. Ah, look, there we go. So this one removes the hat, this one adds the hat back on. Yeah. And there's the cupcake. There's Muffin. That was the channel logo for a while. And I removed the cry command from this one. Okay, how do I undo it now? Yeah, the commands are very weird with this. So yeah, but look, I got this stuff, and then we got the boss lady one, didn't we? Which is like ba 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 ba. Which was because Nico's colorblind. Wait, how do I get rid of them? The ears on this one. No, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Nope. Nope. There we go. That's the ears. So yeah, then we had this one, but Nico's colorblind and he thought the yellow was green. And he made for, because I had a code, and so I was really quoting people like, you're the British boss lady. So he made art based on the British boss lady comment. And we got this. We got this. And then I got chibis made. Hi. Hi. Yeah. And we got the cat things. And then I got this model made, which is absolutely insane. And it lagged out my computer when I'm trying to play games and stuff. Which is not the same model I was just in, because this one can do this, which is actually get things out for Fee 2, which is like the Fee 2 version of when I had before. But yeah, this one I can change out like the hair and stuff. Where do I do that? It's absolutely crazy, this model. Yeah, see, we can do stuff like this. I never do this. But yeah, that was absolutely insane, so I had to split it into 2 models. The clip is nice. Yeah, the clip is nice. Oh, hi. Okay, now I need to just like fix where I'm meant to be. Okay, commands. Banana and play. There we go. That's perfectly. Okay. There we go. So yeah, that is my VTubing history. Cupcake hat. Yeah, I've got a hat. All of my models have hats. Oh gosh. This paint does not want to be shaken. What about stirred? Do you think it wants to be stirred? Stirred, not shaken. Wait. Isn't it meant to be shaken, not stirred? What about shaken and stirred? What about stirred and then shaken? Saying shaken, not stirred is probably just confusing to someone. Like, imagine going into like, you know, a busy bar or whatever. So it's lots of noise going on. And he says shaken, not stirred. And it's like, what if I miss the word not? It's like, did they say they want it stirred? Did they say want it shaken or stirred? Shaken and stirred? What did they just say? Just say shaken. Just say shaken. I pause for old paints for toothpick, and I have mixing balls. Oh. On was some respect and true. Okay, it's almost fully mixed. I just have the greatest mixing arms, the greatest shaking arms in Great Britain. Almost gone, just a tiny little bit of the bottom there. Shaking power activate. Also, I've got like a jacket here. Where's my jacket? It's too warm for a jacket and too warm for a hat. It's gone. Yeah. Okay, I got Tesseract Glow now. I feel like this is just a technical version of Moot Green though. So I don't know how useful this is actually going to be being painted onto this. Well, people love the Tesseract Glow, so... You know. Let's go with it. Okay, I think this is almost finished. Almost, because we need to do the symbol on the back. I brew kombucha and I just make a drink that's 70% kombucha and 70% blowhole blast. What's blowhole blast? Large blast. Shaking waters downs a margarita more than stirring, so James Bond was wrong with that. Maybe he wanted it watered down. You know, he's a spy, he's on a mission. Maybe he purposely wants to, you know, his alcohol watered down so that it doesn't affect him as much. And then he looks all cool having this nice martini. And he like drinks a few of them and he's still got like a cool mind because it's super watered down. You know, people think, ooh. Yeah, needs to stay sharp. It needs to stay as sharp as possible. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to paint that white. I'm going to need a better brush. This brush is not going to be up to it. I need a very thin brush. A very thin brush. Let's go with Wraithbone. Wraithbone's good. Okay, and where's the lid for this brush? Lid for my brush is over here. Game of Subs. Oh, Game of Subs. I don't have Game of Subs. Okay, Wraithbone. Get onto this roll. I'll paint half the cog red. I've actually already painted half the cog red once on this thing, but you know, went over when doing the rest of my colour. Oh gosh, that's the type of mistake I want to avoid. I just smash the brush into the model. It's fine. Okay, so the left side here will be of the skull will be painted red. The right side of the cog will be painted. As I look at it, so my left, my right will be painted red. I'm doing it red and white so that, you know, it's Mechanicus colours of a cog. Also just realised that argent means silvery or white. So my homebrew colours are black and gold with white sprinkled in to distinguish ranks. Oh. I know that you got the Argent Rose or something for the Sisters of Battle. And I think they're white armoured. symbol goes under here. Argent rose aren't a thing. They're the argent shroud, which are white, and the sacred rose, which is red. Oh, okay. I misremembered then. You don't remember the green and purple model? Maybe you weren't here back then. Because I did use it for, I used it for much longer than I was meant to. There's just a number of issues I had to fix, and also just trying to find the time to actually prepare for debut. Or V2. Reason silver is AG in the periodic table is because silver is Latin coming from argentium. Oh, where argent also comes from. That makes sense. Now I need red. Now I don't want to use Mephiston. Maybe I do. Now I want to use Scarlet. Evil Sun Scarlet, where are you? Evil Sun Scarlet, I want to take your colors. Evil Sun Scarlet, there you are. Similarly, gold is aurum, hence AU for the word aura. And also, Avomite of the, which, something like Avomite or something like that is the, armor of the blooming custodies, that's the word. Be careful, okay. Trying to keep my hands still super hard while trying to move it up. That half is full, kind of. Oh, darn it. Messed it up completely. We'll just get some white on top of it again. Oh. Accidentally painted one up the other socket. And then spread the paint to other parts of the model. Nice. Cupcake make it better. Cupcake paint it better. Ah, gosh, the skin on my legs. Have you ever crossed your legs while you're wearing shorts? And your skin just like sticks together? And then you like uncross your legs and your skin just peels away? Yeah, I just did that. Like, ow. I wonder if that's like 3 leg racks right there. You know, I do pretty often if I've been. It's not even sweat. It's just my skin sticky. Got my air conditioner on. Of course, I don't sweat. I do when I'm doing my exercises. Getting super hot heat. Super hot. Super hot. There we go. Okay, there we go. Got. There you can see I messed it up. There we go. Yeah, you can just about see if the socket there. You have to get wash the brush, get the white out again, and paint over it. White scar. Come on out. I'm getting a lot of use out of the white today. Thankfully, white scar can easily paint over bright red without any issues. That is the lie, by the way. It's not too bad at doing it, but you know, it's not the best. Okay, that's fixed roughly. Now to get some. Let's get the flayed one flesh. Gotta head out. Gotta do stuff today. Okay, bye, Nana. It's nice of you to pop in. Don't forget to give a like before you disappear off. Please. It's nice that you popped in anyway and said hi and watched the stream. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Okay, let's get some Baholoff blue. There we go. Guess I need to fix the error from earlier. With the pink. Okay, there we go. That should have fixed it. And just some white now. We'll fix it again. Oh my gosh. You almost forgot to like the stream. Oh, see, this is why I need to remind people to like the stream more often. Because people do forget. And they do mean to. This has really inspired me to start painting again. I used to paint with my niece, but she's decided she's really into Hatsune Miku. And now that dominates a lot of the time. Oh! I think there's like Hatsune Miku dolls that you can paint. Or figures. You should get her one of them. Oh wait, can you get like go on Etsy and get one of those Necron Hatsune Mikus? Oh, those are hilarious. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I can do a lot more thinner waves with this brush. I've been looking at I'm trying to find a synthetic brush that can be as thin and small as this one. I know I've seen people use the Games Workshop brushes, the Citadel ones. to do some insane detailing. And it's, if you get a brand new one, I can see I've been able to do it myself with a brand new one. As soon as it's been used more than like a few times, I don't want to spend like loads of money just having to get a new one every single time I want to do detailing. And this one won't last forever. So I'm trying to find a synthetic brush that's going to be as good for doing fine details. Okay, I think this model then, outside of the base, is done. Can I get it so it actually focuses on the model? Actually, just put my hand here. Okay, we'll focus on my hand. That means I can put the model on it. And it's going to immediately decide to unfocus on my hand. There's a big old focus button on my camera, if you're wondering why I keep moving my hand. So if I click that button, it tells it to refocus. Oh, there we go. So you can see, well, the cog could do with a bit better painting, especially along the edges. Maybe I should go along the edges there, actually. The issue is when I bring it closer to the camera, it reflects the light more. Because like the light is on a camera as well. Yeah, I should probably get the red paint and paint the edges of this a bit better. Oh wait, before I do that, it's 3 minutes past 6. You know what that means? What's coming out next week? Ogre Mod Tribes. Oh. Oh. A big old spearhead with how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 10. Yeah, 10 of these dudes. 1 of this man. 3 of those cool dudes. And 2 of the big old guys on horseback. Or not horseback. Tyrant, 2 marbles, cavalry, 3 iron guts, 10 gluttons. Oh. Ooh, new Legion Imperialis with new Titan weapons. If only we could get the new Warhound Warlord Titans in plastic for normal stuff. Ooh, get made for order. Lord of the Rings stuff. Look at these Urukai. Oh, old metal Urukai. Mephiston for box set, limited edition. Wow, oh, Warhammer World, Nottingham, UK, Book of Dioramas. That's nice. This week, how to roll. How to roll! You're trying to teach me how to roll. Scrap Demon presents 4 challenges with an interesting task. Creating a custom Astra Militarum regiment from scratch. Will they be able to find enough parts to give their guardsmen a cohesive theme, or will the dreams of feudal troops and specialised characters be dashed by a mountain of scattered screws? That sounds fun. Oh, the 40k design team is on how we roll. Okay, that's interesting. Lore Master's talking about that. Okay, now that's good news for me because I don't want anything. Actually, I do kind of want this Mephiston box that I don't know how expensive it's going to be. But I don't want much that's here. That's good news. That's good news for my bank account. And now means maybe I should buy one of these. Maybe I should buy 2. Maybe I should buy 5 of these. Yeah, think about how much retribute to I want to get. I got it's good. Evil Sun Scarlet, come on out. Sorry, I've had like a tune stuck in my head all day. I listened to it while doing exercises. It's a Japanese song. I think the band's called Polka Dot or something like that. and I've been listening to Japanese music because I'm trying to learn Japanese again. It's like listen to Japanese music, watch animes without any subtitles. It's really weird watching animes without subtitles because I know enough Japanese, and you know, from just the show itself to have a good idea of what's going on at all times. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything, but at the same time, I don't know enough Japanese to actually be able to parse most of what they're saying. Like, I wouldn't be able to translate it. And every so often they just say, like, sentences where I just completely lose me. I was like, okay, I don't actually know what you're saying, but I'm sorry. My goal isn't to like be able to translate Japanese or anything like that. Though it's basically to understand Japanese. And one of the goals to understanding a language sometimes isn't to actually be able to know what every single word means and translate it directly into another language easily. It's just my main goal is just to get to a point where, like, if someone says something, I have a rough idea of what they're actually saying. Like the meaning behind the sentence, and rather than the meaning behind every single individual word. And a lot of words, they don't translate one-to-one anyway. Like, you sometimes look at them and the definitions just like this rolling definition of just many different things it can potentially be. But then it's used in a sentence and it's like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Well, that's the same for a lot of languages, especially when you start diverting away from the same alphabets and stuff. But okay, I think this one's finished then. I don't like how it looks there. I do prefer how it looks here, but this is the test model. And now we can go on to painting the others in big old batches. Maybe I should just do all of the highlights on one model at a time. Maybe that would be good, actually. But then it's going to be more time just switching between paints constantly, rather than just do all and do that. Now I'll do them all at once. At least I'll do these 5 models all at once, hopefully. I'll do him last. I'll do him separately because he's a character. He's meant to stand out a bit better. I kind of regret using my Histari as my test. Like, really, I should have just built some Skitari and then used them as the test, rather than how we've got it now. But yeah, so I want some Lothen blue. Yes. We'll keep him here as our inspiration. And we'll see how many we can get done in the next 50 minutes. And then after the stream, I need to get myself an omelette. I'm going to make an omelette for my tea. And then I'm going to... What else am I going to do today? Oh yeah, I need to get the thumbnails finished. Oh, I did make a schedule. If we go over here. Image 6. Schedule, yeah! Nico Art, that's the person who made my model. Look how amazing his art is, it's beautiful. But we'll be building demons, and we'll be doing demon building. And then we'll have a hand cam stream. I might probably painting more Mechanicus on the hand cam stream. And member stream, painting, might be Photon, might be more Mechanicus. Probably more Mechanicus, probably finishing for Mechanicus. Then we'll be playing Rogue Trader, hopefully on Friday. And on Saturday, we'll be painting more of our photon, and Sunday painting more of our photon. Yeah. I've got one of the thumbnails made. I need to make the others. Because I decided tomorrow we're going to go back into, you know, this is such a good transition. I love getting bonked. Yeah, get bonked. I do. That's made by Kinetic Bennett, I believe she's called. She's amazing. She does all sorts of great art. And she's always up for commissions. Well, not always, but you know. For the quality of the art that she produces, she is well worth the price. Because she doesn't charge very much for how good her art is. And how much life her animations give. There we go. Trust the process. We know how it goes. This is one of the reasons why I like having test models. But it's not just testing out the process. It's allowing yourself to trust the process. Like, because when you know, you can look at a model and go, I like how that looks. I like how it came out. And you start doing the same on a different model. Then, like at any part of a process where you're like, oh, it looks awful, you can just be like, don't just trust the process. Trust the process. You know it's going to turn out great. I know it will probably turn out great, hopefully. That's a great thing about models, about the test models. My other one. Do you want to see what my boss lady transitions are? Look at that! Cola! Oh, that's when I'm doing boss lady times. What we're doing, made smash. Also, have you seen the overlay is different? Oh, yeah. Overlay. Which of the overlays do you like better? They're very similar, but they're a bit different. You agree with me about what? What am I right about? For trusting the process? Sorry, I got a song just stuck in my head. I don't even know the name of the song. And I'll just change the song. Okay, it looks okay-ish. Love and blue is a beautiful color. Love and blue is a beautiful day. Love and blue is a beautiful color. There we go. Maybe I should go back to like streaming every so often with a boss lady model. Oh yeah, so this week I decided I want to use my V2 model. Because, you know, I bought it and I've not used it yet. So I've been making like a load of screenshots to use the thumbnails and stuff. Oh, I've not done any dirt on for models. Oh yeah, should I be putting dirt on for models? Should I be putting dirt in for eyes? Maybe not. Maybe these models will avoid putting dirt on them. Like, you know, loads of dust and stuff. I've also been wondering what base I want to put on them. Do I want to just go with the same sort of base that I do for like every other model? Where it's just like orangey gravel with bits of shrubs and stuff. I don't want to go for something more. Funk. Get funk. Every single day. You're gonna get funk. Oh yay. In every single way. You're gonna be bunk. You're gonna be smacked in your little head. All that. Gonna be bunk. Gonna be smacked. There we go. Oh, the colours. The colours are coming together. Don't forget the colours. Okay, that's a bit much. There we go. It wants to be like that. Why is my throat so croaky? Because hay fever. Oh yeah. Everyone loves Pikachu. Everyone loves Pikachu. Everyone loves Pikachu. Pika, Pika, Pikachu. Pika, Pika, Pikachu. My favourite Pokemon song is, do you know that one that's Lavender Town, that's the one, I think it's called. The Lavender Town song is beautiful. Very smoothing, very relaxing. Lots of dead Pokemon inhabit this town. Lots of dead Pokemon inhabit it all around. What's really weird to me is that some Pokemon are literally humans. And I don't mean they're literally humans as in they look like humans. Like, you know, God of War, whatever. I'm talking about the ones that are literally ghosts of dead people. Like, you know, for some of them where it's like in the description of them, it's like, yeah, these used to be people. This used to be children. This Pokemon is made when a child dies and the ghost gets trapped on the earth. There you go. Joker, what are you doing to that low pony? No, Joker! Joker's insane. Hello, Michael Sean Bermudez. How you doing? I had to mute because of hay fever still. Yeah, Joker. Don't trust the Joker with your low ponies. But I'm talking about the ones that, do you know, ghosts? And they're just described as a ghost of people, and it's like that is literally the ghost of a person. It's like, yep. So if a ghost of a person is a Pokemon, I guess so. Does that mean people are Pokemon? I've only got for Pokemon where it says, this Pokemon used to be a person. It's like, what? I'm doing good, and please just call me by my first name. I'm guessing that one is Bermudez. I'm joking. Hi, Michael. I'm painting all up. Okay, I can turn my air conditioner off because I'm starting to get a bit chilly again. I don't like breezes on my skin. It makes me feel weird. Oh, I can hear my own background music again now for blooming air conditioner. So, blooming air conditioner, can you believe it? Rodney Plumper. There we go. Up, 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 up. Does anyone else get restless legs? Restless leg syndrome, that's what they call it. Where your legs always just have to be moving about all of the time. Especially if you sat down. Like, what did you think about the Loyalist World Eaters chapter? Oh, your Loyalist World Eaters are pretty fun. From what I saw. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I say it's so beautiful. Kind of. I'm trying to amp myself up. If I say it's good, then maybe I will think it's good, you know? For those who just came in, by the way, we're trying to paint a sea, sort of like ocean, look onto our roads. I am a coconut living in a tree. I am a coconut living in a tree. Every single day I steal 1,000 children's souls from their shoes. So wherever they walk, they always gotta have feet. Joking. No, so have you seen X? No, I have not seen X-Men 97. I've seen 3 X-Men films. No, 4 X-Men films. I saw X-Men, the first film. Then I saw X-Men, whatever the second one was. And then I saw the X-Men film where he goes, the good one, the one everyone loves and no one's ever said anything bad about. You know, where Jean Grey goes all crazy. Love it. And then I saw the one where the younger, first class or something like that, and you had Darwin just randomly dying because he couldn't adapt to an explosion for some weird reason. Darwin, my son, what did they do to you? And I think that's it. I've not seen X-Men Apocalypse. I've not seen Logan. I didn't see Wolverine. I kind of saw bits of the other cartoon when reruns would be on, I think. But I just see like clips of it on YouTube, one or the other. I don't know. I know it's a continuation of the original you told me the other time. I've just not seen the original. I've not seen the continuation either. I'm not a big fan of Marvel. and X-Men. Mostly something I saw because of the people were seeing it, like, you know, parents going to watch X-Men or something. Hello, Emperor's Right Ball. How are you doing? 97 is impressive because it takes stories from like the Dark Ages of X-Men, some of the least like storylines, and does them well. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was always a DC fangirl rather than X-Men and Marvel. You're good. Your gloves are quite shiny. They are. It's because the same sort of gloves doing like tattoo artists and stuff use. Although actually, they are a bit shinier than normal. Where's all that shine coming from? Especially with that one. Oh no, maybe I don't have any glitter. Oh no, some reason they just got a bit of sheen on them. This is what we're trying to paint, by the way. Rolling ocean effect. This one's, I think, is finished. We just needed to give them a good base. Give them a good base. I did learn about Spartans. In school and out of school. Well, Spartans weren't really a main subject, because the Spartans never really did anything amazing or impressive. They were warriors that got beaten in many wars. And they were made famous by the Romans, who thought they were cool. I don't know the survival rate of their training. Off the top of my head, anyway. I think there's two numbers. You effectively got the exaggerated number, then you got the more realistic one. Because there's a lot of rumours and exaggerations about the Spartans. A lot of it comes back from the Romans. You know, who idolise the Spartans.
What does the conjurer like for her sandwiches?
I usually have chicken and bacon with mayo, or just chicken and mayo. Or sometimes I have a ham sandwich. Or sausage sandwich. Yeah. How do you step up your camera? Well, this is a document camera, so it has its own stand. It's self-contained. If you look up the InSwan, of an InSwan, so INSWAN, I think mine is the second one, so for 2. It might not be, I can't remember. I had mine right in front of my face, so it's fair. So, if I'm going to be... So, my camera is right there, as you can imagine. It's actually quite zoomed in, so... The camera is like, it's filming a bunch of stuff back here as well. But is actually cut off there. Like I've zoomed it in, so it's just on this one square. What I then do is I put a magnifying glass here because I use my magnifying glass to paint where it's a comfortable one. I just put my hand out until it comes onto the camera. And then I also put like, so if I'm going to use a magnifying glass, I want to paint here. Is it still on camera? Kind of. And I just base it around there. But it's a relatively compact camera, like size of the entire camera head, which has a light in it and a bunch of buttons, is about this big. It's a little bit bigger than this paint pot. Let's look, we got a tall paint pot here. Yeah, it's wider than this, but around the same size. But it's got its entire stand. The stand is back here, so it goes along there, down. And then has a little weight at the bottom. And the wires go around the back of my monitors and into the computer. Ham cheddar or tuna and Swiss with a bit of black pepper. Ooh. That sounds fun. Not a big fan of tuna sandwiches, personally. I like tuna, just not on my sandwich. I like a stand thingy that attached to my table on my web. Yeah, that's what I used to have. There were multiple issues with it. One, it took forever to set up, and then I'd like have to fully take it apart again. So I had this big old stand. It went into my table, so I've got an L-shaped desk. So if we imagine, my desk is like this. My area where I paint goes actually like under here. It's not supported at all. Goes there. I sit here, and then I had like the stand clips into there, goes over to here. Camera is above. The camera wasn't very good, and it got in the way. Very difficult to paint with. Got in the way of my microphone as well, so it took forever to bloom and set up and then take apart. It was a load of effort, really not fun. And then you've got all the trying to just like balance the entire camera, like, because each time you set it up, it's going to be in a different place. It's not going to be exact, when you have to do all the settings each and every time. But yeah, this time I just got the ins one, and it's I could just leave it on my desk. I just pull it up when I need it, push it back down when I don't need it. It's very nice. If you can afford one, they're not super expensive. They're not cheap, but they're not like super expensive like most cameras go. You see my workstation. You will want to get a magnifying glass so I can do miniatures a little bit more better. You don't need a magnifying glass for that. It can help. There's a few suggestions I would say that if you're a beginner and you're struggling like keeping your hands steady or whatever, miniature, hold on to it. Make sure finger on whatever surface you're doing with. Keep your elbow on your desk if you can, or if you can't keep it on the desk, just try keeping your entire arm steady, or like with your chair arm. But then you keep it steady there. Then your hand that comes in, rest your pinky here, and then paint. And make sure that this elbow on this arm is also resting on something. And that way you've got really nice control. And if you can get this finger as well also resting like on your model, it gives you amazing control. Even if you are shaking. It's like, especially like if this hand is shaking and this hand is shaking, they'll be shaking together. So that way you'll still be able to paint exactly what you need to. That's my best advice that if you want to be painting a bit better. And then just paint slowly. Magnifying the glass helps a bit, but make sure to buy one that you can wear. I don't have one that I can wear. I just place it here. And then I go down like this. And it's perfect. You don't need to have one you can wear. Like mine isn't one I can wear. I can just go down here and be like, magnifying glass. It gets a bit of a way. I do knock it over every so often. But at the same time, I'm not having to then deal with a magnifying glass being on my face all the time, especially since I do wear glasses in real life. And I'm very long-sighted. So it's not like I can just put without the magnifying glass, I'll be able to just put my model really close to my face. I see best at detail when I'm further than my arms can actually reach away from something, which is why I need to wear glasses permanently, despite being long-sighted. You do get ones that attach over your glasses, but then you risk scratching your glasses, and it's like, it's a load of effort that I can't be bothered with, so I just have one that's right here. And as long as if it can stand by itself, it's fine. It works perfectly. In fact, I can actually use it. It's a bit filthy at the moment, to be honest. But yeah, I could actually use it here and zoom in for you. That's the other use of this. If I want to show something in detail, I can. So, you want to see this in great detail? Look at that. You can see all my mistakes. Every single brush stroke. I'm nearsighted, so I have to wear my magnifying glasses on top of my glasses. Yeah. I paint cars, so I tend to go faster to try and keep my technique, but it doesn't work so great. The other thing I would say, if you're doing big models, there's something that's useful in both canvas painting, paper drawing, or digital painting. It's something I learned about painting straight lines. It's don't paint with your fingers all of the time if you're trying to use your elbow. Keep your hand steady and then use your elbow. And you get nice strokes. So put some paint on. I mean, it's only cardboard. I need to replace this soon anyway, so if you just go nice. If I can actually get it here, so it'd be a nice stroke with the elbow. If you're doing it with your hand, though, one, you can't do it as far, but you're gonna get it being all messy as you're trying to follow it. The other thing is, with miniatures like this, the elbow actually it still works. It's got to be a bit hard to keep your hands steady for it. So painting with a wrist, though, can be very, very useful instead of just doing everything with your fingers. It's all just about various ways of getting brush control and keeping your hands steady. I have very shaky hands. It's not very obvious on stream. I've been doing a lot to try and fix it. But my hand shaking used to be so bad that when I painted through, I used stabilization 70. It's not been as bad recently. Although I've been trying to paint more and stuff. And I have been getting some of the same issues I used to have back when I was drawing every single day and then writing as well. Which caused my hand to shake a lot and like lots of joint pain and stuff. But once I stopped doing it as much, I stopped getting the same issues. I still get lots of micro shaking, which again, is not very obvious. I sometimes do use it, like trying to get this roughness here. I can just allow my hand to shake and it'll be rough. One of the chainsaws of my Lord's world eat to someone on Assault Squad kit. Nice. Assault Squad kit chainsaws are pretty nice. I've got the melee upgrade sprue for the Horus Heresy, and they've got some really nice melee weapons in there. I recommend it if you just like mixing and matching bits around. The other thing with painting is remember to thin your paints. Thinning your paints. I only learnt this recently myself. So when I first learned to paint, it was all about doing extremely thin layers. So what you do, you get your brush like this, and then you just put it onto your pad until you've barely got any paint on your brush, and then you brush it on. That's how I learned. So when people talk about thin coats and stuff, that's what I always imagined. I didn't know about thinning it, putting a little bit of water on it, your brush. It was only a little bit. It's basically just making the paint a bit loose. That's what I always did. What I've learned about thinning your paints is make it the same thickness as milk, the same consistency as milk. That's what I learned recently. Multiple YouTubers I watched suggested it, and when I tried it myself, amazing. You don't need to get as thin as milk, to be honest. If you're painting like they do, it's very, very useful. If you're painting like this, you might not want it to be that thin. But thinning your paints, it gives you a bit more control over them to some extent. It becomes easier to paint on. But it generally will just increase your skill at painting. It makes painting gradients 90,000 times better. Like with this dude here. If I didn't start with my paints that thin for this guy. It's like all the paints I'm using now are highly thinned down. Again, a bit better consistency than milk. A bit thicker, but pretty nice all in all. I also have very shaky hands. I kind of just accept that mistakes will happen and it's the future. Yeah, I get lots of mistakes. Every so often I get really bad shakes in my hands. Like, it's not very long shakes like this, but it will shake like that for like just once or twice for some weird reason. And it's like before I messed up with this. It's like I'm trying to bring my brush down to paint one side and my brush just massively moves across the model. I say massive, it wasn't even that massive, so it was a kind of minor shake all in all. SCP 40k told me that too. What's that I got? No, that was a squig. A squig. It's for what the orcs use. It's a short for squiggly beast. And they pull it's blue because it's Death Skull. I've been thinking about freehanding some signs onto it, but I don't know. Every layer of paint also has its own texture and gradually overrides the finish of the details of what you're painting. Yeah, that's one of the things that I've realised a bit about painting and how important it is to thin paints. Because some paints won't have that too much of a texture to it, but others will. Not just about texture though. So I need to like blow my nose, so that's why I muted randomly. It's like with this model. Can we find on this model where the if you look at this model, you can see some of the brush strokes on it, and it's not very good. Compare that to this model after I thinned the same paint I used, and the brush strokes become significantly less obvious. Because they're still there, but they're much, much less obvious. And the reason being is that basically once it's really thinned down, your paint will try to spread out a lot more. As it's drying, it will spread out a bit more. Which does mean a little bit when you're painting details, it can seep off, which is why it's very important to have very little paint on your brush when you're doing detailing like that. But what will happen is that it will spread out just a little bit more. So instead of giving it a very strong, very clear brush stroke here, which is not that strong, it's not that clear, it will instead just gradient out a little automatically by itself, I found. And as the result, for brush strokes becomes that much less obvious. On top of that, the paint itself will be thinner. So when you do paint on top of it, the thicker parts will stay exactly where you want it to. But the layer will be thinner, so you'll be able to see the paint that's underneath it better. So that means around the edges of the paint, it will be thin enough where you can see the undercoating of it, again, giving you a little bit of a gradient, meaning that any brush stroke you put onto the model for highlighting and stuff and gradienting will automatically blend itself in a little bit from the edges to the center, more than when it's not thinned, if that makes any sense. Well, yeah. And sometimes you do want your paint to be thicker. Like, sometimes you do want that texture with the paint. Like what we're doing here, I don't want my paint to be incredibly thin because I do actually kind of want that texture to help with this finger making. I don't want it to blend seamlessly between the two things. It is thinned down, the paints I'm using, but not super thinned down. Assuming on her. It was her butt. Oh, so hi, Yoko Ava. Any strength you apply your fingers. Oh, so what's this? VV taught me a nice way of working where once you have your hand holding the mini or slash paint handle, elbows placed on something and your brush hand rests or presses against your holding hand. Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. So what I suggest is always the pinky finger is the one. You want your wrists preferably down here. Sometimes you can't do your wrists, like you're painting this guy. You can't have both of you, like this wrist is not going to be on the thing. But support your elbows. Support this wrist at the very least, if you can, if your model's not too big, like a knight or whatever. And then you put your finger, this finger, on the mini. And if you can, this other finger as well. So you got two fingers on the mini. If you can keep your wrist on the surface, that's also good. And if you can't keep it on the mini, keep it on, like, so you got over here, on there. Obviously, sometimes your minis will be fragile, so you can't do that, but it's all about just trying to, which is why the pinky being supported is so important. And don't be afraid of, like, grabbing further up the brush to do details and stuff, if you can't reach this location. So that helps massively. The other thing about it, like if you're holding a mini like this, that finger on that hand, this finger on that hand, if this hand starts shaking, this hand also starts shaking with it to some extent. So when you got your mini held like this and your fingers like this, any shaking of this hand is potentially also helping shake this hand a little bit and vice versa. So that way your mini is moving with you to some extent. And that's kind of what you want. So it doesn't matter as much. My way of checking the paint thinness is putting some paint on my hand. If I can still see the texture of my skin, it's thin enough. What I do, I just thin it down in the bottle. With I don't use water to thin it down like that. Use Lamia Medium. Lamia Medium is absolutely magic. It's great for reviving paints that are dying and drying out. But it's also, oh gosh, that's not closed properly. It's also great for thinning paints down and getting the issue with water is it doesn't keep its consistency. The other thing is I like to keep my brush damp. Ish, and the dampness of a brush helps keep the paint thin. So yeah, there's a lot of little tips and tricks out there that are very useful. Another tip and trick that's always worthwhile is Undercoat your model in whatever colour you're going to paint your model. Contrasts are great on highly detailed models and detailed areas. Awful on anything with a less detail, such as like armor plating, vehicles and stuff. Another thing I learned about contrasting is I learned people do slap chop, like they paint it grey, then they dry brush white over it, and then they slap chop the contrast onto it, which I tried doing. I've never been a fan of it. Recently, though, I've been learning. Like actually, it was with this guy. Paint the areas in the colour you want it first, and then do contrasts over it. So often do a dark contrast if you want it to be darker than whatever paint you're using, or use a lighter contrast if you want it to be a bit lighter. But either way, for darker pigments, some of the contrast will go into the ridges and stuff, and it will basically work the same way like shading, but also give you some automatic highlighting in. Also, it means that if you are painting onto a vehicle or like these big flat areas when you put the contrast on, you've already got the same colour basically down, so it doesn't end up as streaky as before. Oh yes, I had to learn the hard way that you must have a moist brush for contrast paints, or it just numbs the pigment instantly. Yeah. Synthetic brushes also like to be painted and let go of the paint. If you want to thin down contrast medium, get yourself some actual contrast medium. Water's fine as well for it, but contrast medium is absolutely amazing. Don't use Lamia medium on contrast paints, otherwise you're just going to turn them into a normal paint. And you run the same risk if you use water on your contrast paints, like just to thin from downloads. Contrast paints are a bit weird when it comes to thinning them. Most contrast paints, with some exceptions like the Black Templar paint, when you use them, they'll be very watery already, but sometimes you want to thin them down anyway. And that's fine. So, I advise the contrast medium for it. But yeah, the other thing about like using a Lamia medium is if you're running out of paint, like one of your paints, and you know that you want to thin it down anyway, just throw some Lamia medium in, shake it really well, and you've now got the paint is going to be, there's going to be a lot more paint now. It's going to be more thinned down, but you know, you want your paints thinned down, so that's fine. Also going to stop, when it starts running out as well, you're going to find it's going to start drying out quicker. So putting that Lamia medium into it will stop it drying out as well, giving it a lot more extra life with it. And if you do have any paints that are drying out and dying anyway, sometimes Lamia medium can save them. Another thing is put them into hot water. Not like the paint itself, like keep the paint pot nice and sealed. Get yourself some hot water, and then just submerge your pot in the hot water. Maybe not let the water into it, so you only submerge it up to the lid. That will break down the paints to some extent, allowing it to once again run freely, and then put some Lamia medium into it to save it. We're putting water into the shampoo to make it last longer. It's a bit different. It's like putting a shampoo mixer thing into your shampoo. Putting water into your paints is never a good idea. Like directly into the paint pot, unless you're like mixing two paints together in a new paint pot, which some people do, and then you put some water in to thin it down. That's fine, but yeah, it's not even a money-saving technique really, because Lamia costs as much as a paint pot. That being said, you get these paint pots are much bigger. How much do you actually get? Does it actually tell me? 24 milliliters. So yeah, you get about twice as much in it. And you don't need a lot of this to work its magic. Although I've gone through 3 pots. So I've got a lot of paints. As you can tell by all the different colours we use. You know, like different models. And when it comes to painting models as well, another big thing to work with is colour itself. Like how many colours am I actually using here as a basis? I'm basically using blue, bone, and gold. I've got 3 and red. I've got 4 colours on the entire model. And for all in distinctive areas. That's one thing that just helps improve it. Then each colour itself is, well actually, this colour is only made from 2. It's a Shabti bone, skeleton hard, and then for this it was flayed one flesh to do for highlighting on it. Skeleton hard for the shade. For the gold, it's Retribute to armor with, what's it called? Reichland flesh shade, then Retribute to armor again, and then I do a bit of silver. For the red, it's just Mephiston red mostly. Then I highlighted it with, if I did Reichland flesh shade of a shade, and then highlight with pink horror. The blue here is a bit more complex. It's Talasar blue or Teclis blue as a base. Then working up into Lothan blue, then Baharoth blue, then white. And doing shade with Talasar blue. Did I paint my Tulia model? It's not painted yet fully. I'm going to do this one last so that I'm, you know, more experienced painter by the time I get to it. So yeah. But she's mostly covered. I've done the shade on her blue now, but I need to do the shade on the armor and the rest of the model. I've done shade on the green coils as well. Although there's a bunch of white that I'm really struggling to get to on the coils, so I'm wondering if doing the coils with like bright white on them would be good, just to cover up the fact I've got all this white on them. I also think about just taking Colia green shade the entire model, the entire Folkite blaster, because it's just really hard to get to those white areas. How did you make her leg so long? Oh, okay, so you want to see for Tulia Gould. It's not Tulia Gould, it's Serena is my model. I replaced all of her legs. All of her legs have been replaced with, I think it's mostly the Electro Scourge from the Defiler and a bit from the Hellbrute, and then I can't remember what these bits are from. I don't even think I knew what bits were. They're just from my bit spots. For her neck, it's the exact same sort of piece I use for like this arm and these legs and stuff. If I just cut off the end, stuck it into there, put a bunch of green stuff over it for the hood, put a Vespid head on the end, and then took this bit off from her head and stuck it there. I also cut off the gun and replaced it with a Folkite blaster and put a round this green stuffed tube on it. This is from a Custodian, that's the word. I kept wanting to say Centurion. It's not Centurion. Custodian Dreadnought. That's from just random Heresy upgrades, I think. And that's from a Mechanicus symbol from an Imperial Knight. So yeah. I didn't notice her legs. That's super dope. Thank you. My entire idea for always the leader of my Mechanicus was always going to be like this woman who is mechanical tentacles and potentially an AI. She's potentially an abominable intelligence. Don't worry though. He doesn't hate the Imperium. If she is or isn't, I'm not sure. I never really decided. I have So the entire idea of that, she was originally a techno-archaeologist, and she came across like this abominable intelligence, but she kept it with her and used it to store data and stuff. And eventually when she died, eventually actually upgraded the abominable intelligence body, giving it a more human-looking form, or maybe more tentacly, making it look like a copy of her. That was the goal anyway. And eventually she died. Oh yeah, she would make it look like a copy of her and then just send it out to do stuff that she didn't want to do. And then eventually she died, and the abominable intelligence just continued living her life. Potentially. Maybe. No one knows. Either way, there's probably no fleshy bits left of her, whether she's still the same person or whether she got replaced by a abominable intelligence. Either way, there's probably not a single bit of flesh left of her. It's just all mechanical tentacles. Okay, but I spent a lot of time talking about painting techniques. I'm still not an amazing painter. I'm learning myself. And I'm coming a long way. Of course, relatively, can I show you what she's like? Yeah, have you seen her dyed hair? Her hair's brown, but she dyed it pink and blue. But yeah, I've got her face done. She's got little eyes on her face. I need to clean this thing again. She's got lips. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting better at painting. I'm still learning though. I should have thinned down the Scarsnick green I did for his gun over here. Because it's a bit messy. That's one of the things that helps when you thin down your paints. It stops looking as messy. But his coat looks a lot better as I thin down the paints a lot more. Oh, I got red paint on my blooming magnifying glass. I'm gonna have to wash that off. Using a whole Galactus sword as a weapon is straight to horror. Yeah. I was originally just going to give her the sword from the sword captain. Shield captain, sorry. Do you know the Horus Heresy shield captain that came with the Contempt to Dreadnought thing? Because I made a pyrite spear from, one of the spare spears and a melter gun. Or whatever it's called. So I had the spare sword. I was originally going to give it to her, but then I realised how big gold is. I'm like, I'm just going to give her the full-on Galactus sword. That's going to be fun. Especially with just how much damage she can deal out. Like, she can cut the Great Demon in half. I thought I wanted to give her a weapon that at least looks like it could cut a Great Demon in half. The thing is also in her lore, it's like her way of damaging vehicles isn't the same way that gold has. Like, for inflict DC plus whatever damage to a vehicle by special effect. Yeah, this is actually a chronomancy light. So whatever she shines the spotlight onto will get paused in time. Which when shining it on a person doesn't really matter because the person will just pause in time for a few seconds. But putting it onto a moving vehicle and only a part of a vehicle gets frozen in time. Suddenly, like, the vehicle's ripping itself apart as part of it's trying to go forward and part of it's trying to stay stuck in time. Yeah, that's why. And this Volkite Blaster is actually just charged with all sorts of chrono energy. And it just shoots out a bunch of, like, different coloured lightning. Some of it will try pausing you in time, some of it will try speeding you up in time. And as a result, you'll just be hit by it and, like, parts of your body will just age like 1,000 years. And other parts of your body will suddenly just stop wanting to move. And it's just like loads of searing lightning just going all over like a group of people, and suddenly they're like just falling to pieces. I don't know why, but I imagine her neck just comes out like a turtle. It does. That's what I imagine. She just stretches out her necks and stuff from Like, under here, I imagine you just got loads of writhing tentacles and stuff. That's just, like, spreading out. With a few exceptions of, like, where she actually decides she needs fingers and hands and stuff. But yeah, I imagine everything can just coil back into her armor when needs be. Like, if it hit her too hard and, you know, she gets destroyed, she's not actually getting destroyed. She's just, like, coiling up inside her armor and just staying there in a nice egg. Or she coils up inside her armor and then just, like, rolls away. Or just falls underground. So anyway, I tried to do I'll try to get these guys finished off stream. We already know what one of them looks like. The rest of them will just be the same. For next stream, I'll also try to get her shading done off stream, so that when we come to her, we can actually just do all the nice highlights. Oh yeah, the reason she's still got red armor is that she's still a tech priest. All of my tech priests are gonna have red armor, but blue robes. Or at least if they don't have like any. I'm gonna put more red on the tech priest to represent that they are still off Mars. Meanwhile, the Skitarii legions, their loyalty doesn't lie to Mars, it lies to the tech priests that rule over them. So, yeah. So the reds are only going to be on wires and stuff. Oh yeah, another thing I suggest on painting is it's not just painting in like sections. It's making sure that the gun feels separate from the model. Now, Games Workshop recommends this anyway. This is why when you see, like, if you look at the Blood Angels, you got the Death Company in black armor and red weapons. But then the normal Blood Angels have red armor and black weapons. It's basically you want the weapons to stand out from the model. It's important not only for like contrast and looks, but also so someone can look at your model and easily recognize where the weapons are and what weapons it might be holding. So in this case, if you look at it from this side, you can see the weapons very, very clear on the model. The different colours to the main body. From this angle, you can't even see the weapons. Well, you can see this one, but it doesn't matter as much. Meanwhile, if you look over, which is why I didn't like how she looked in the end with her weapon being, even though I did put black onto the edges of the weapons and stuff, I didn't like how it looked. So that's why I came up with doing this weapon instead. It's very different from the rest of the model. And as also, you can tell what the weapon is. Archmages coming out of your shell, we need to go to work. No! No work! No! Stay in the shell. Ghost in the shell. Archmages in the shell. I'm imagining though. Oh! I've had an idea. Maybe she has. Do you know where Belisarius Carl is known to use clones of himself? Like, do you know it? Because he needs to be in multiple places at once sometimes. And you know he uses clones and stuff. What if she uses? She actually makes a bunch of like abominable intelligent copies of herself. And like, she needs to go into battle. And she's just got like, she just sends in one of her little copies. But no one knows anymore if she's still alive. Or if she just got replaced by one of her own copies. Oh, that'll be hilarious. And maybe technically that they're not actually clones or whatever. She says, they're not clones. So I take a piece of my brain. I regrow that piece of my brain in my body. And then I make a new brain from the piece. The piece that I took off me, I keep alive. And I grow that into my own brain again. I copy across all of my memories and personality. I make it to new body, and there we go. Technically, it's not a clone, it's a cutting. Just as when you take a leaf from a tomato plant, you can grow a new tomato plant, but it's still the same plant, not technically a clone. Yeah, I imagine she does not really care so much about, you know, what's heretical and what isn't. She just wants progress. She just wants to do what she does, and she's in a strong enough position where she can do what she does. I don't think there's a single Archmagus in lore, do you know high ranking Archmagus in official lore that isn't somewhat heretical. Like, Carl is definitely, you know, goes against a lot of the teachings of the Ad-Mech. Tulia Gould also does a lot of that sort of stuff, but in a different way. You know, it's fun. But anyway, thank you for coming to the stream today, everyone. There's nothing new on the website. We just got got more tribes are coming next week. Thankfully, I don't play Age of Sigmar, so I'm not tempted by these things. Don't play Legion Imperialis either, but I am kind of tempted by these things. Look how cool they are. That's such a nice colour scheme on them. It's beautiful. Made to order stuff here is coming next week. Yeah. I am tempted by this. I read Dante. Dante was a pretty nice book. And I read the Sanguinius book, which was okay. Book of Dioramas. Do you want a book of Dioramas? Thank you for the stream. But yeah, thank you for coming to the stream. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Remember to work hard, but play harder. That's the words I usually say. Oh my gosh. I've been trying to learn Japanese so much that my brain stopped processing any other memories. Yeah. Work hard, but play harder. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to others and vice versa. Big love hearts to you all. Yeah. And also, eat good food. Sleep well. Dream of cupcakes, but don't eat for cupcakes. The friends, not food. Goodbye, everyone. Love you all. Big love hearts. How do I end again? Yeah. Big love hearts. Yeah. Smash. And don't forget to like the stream. Yeah. Because it helps me out. You silly biddies. Oh.